You did everything right last night. You were in bed by 10, no late night scrolling, no caffeine afternoon. You even put your phone face down on the nightstand like some kind of sleep saint. 7 hours later, your alarm goes off and you feel like you got hit by a truck. Now here's what's gonna bother you. Right now, on the other side of the world, someone in Tokyo just woke up after 6.5 hours of sleep. No alarm needed, no triple shot Americano, just clear eyes, a calm mind, and a body that actually feels rested. Same planet, same 24 hours, completely different result. So what do they know that we don't? It's not genetics. It's not some mystical Eastern secret they're keeping from us. It's a set of deeply ingrained daily habits, simple, science-backed, and honestly, a little embarrassing once you realize how fixable this whole thing is. Because the truth is, most of us aren't suffering from a sleep disorder, we're suffering from a sleep design problem, and design problems have design solutions. Here are 7 Japanese sleep habits that will change the way you rest, and you can start every single one of them tonight. The first thing Japan gets right that almost nobody in the West talks about is room temperature. Not mattress brand, not white noise apps, temperature. A study spanning over 2,000 Japanese households found that the average bedroom temperature during sleep hovers around 55 degrees Fahrenheit. That's roughly 13 degrees Celsius. Compare that to the typical American bedroom sitting somewhere between 68 and 72 degrees, and you start to understand why so many of us are tossing and turning without knowing why. Here's the neuroscience behind it. Sleep researcher Dr. Matthew Walker has explained that in order for your brain to enter its deepest, most restorative stages of sleep, your core body temperature needs to drop by 2 to 3 degrees. When your room is warm, your body fights that process the entire night. Every degree of extra heat is your nervous system working against itself. A cooler room isn't just more comfortable, it's literally the biological trigger your brain needs to shift into repair mode. Tonight, set your thermostat somewhere between 60 and 65 degrees Fahrenheit. No thermostat? A fan pointed towards your feet works surprisingly well. Your brain will notice. Your body will thank you by morning. The second habit is one that sounds uncomfortable until you understand why it works. In Japan, millions of people sleep on firm futons laid directly over tatami mats. No pillow top, no memory foam sinking you into the mattress like quicksand. Just a firm, flat, supportive surface, and a spine that stays in alignment all night long. Here's what most people don't realize. When your sleeping surface is too soft, your body is constantly making micro adjustments throughout the night to find a neutral position. You're not waking up fully, but you're not staying in deep sleep either. You're hovering in that frustrating in-between zone that leaves you groggy no matter how many hours you clock. You don't need to throw out your mattress. Start by sleeping on top of your covers one night. Notice the difference. Firmness isn't punishment, it's support. Now here's the one that sounds completely backwards the first time you hear it, but once you try it, you'll never go back. Before bed, take a hot bath. We're talking around 104 degrees Fahrenheit or 40 degrees Celsius. Not a lukewarm rinse, a genuinely hot soak. And here's why it works in a way that feels almost like a cheat code. When you sit in hot water, your blood vessels dilate and rush blood toward your skin. The moment you step out, all that heat radiates off your body rapidly, and your core temperature drops fast. That sudden drop is one of the strongest biological signals your body knows for initiating sleep. You're not relaxing into sleep, you're chemically triggering it. This practice has been part of Japanese culture for centuries. They call it ofudo. 1 to 2 hours before bed, soak for 10 to 15 minutes. You'll feel the difference before your head even hits the pillow. Here's something that might genuinely shift how you think about your entire relationship with rest. In Japan, if someone tells you you look tired, it is not an insult. It's a form of respect. It means you've been working hard. It means you've been giving. The culture honors the visible evidence of effort, so much so that napping in public, even in the workplace, carries its own term, inemuri, It loosely translates to sleeping while present, and it is seen not as laziness, but as a sign of dedication. You worked so hard, your body demanded recovery. Contrast that with the Western story we've been telling ourselves for decades. Sleep is for the weak. Grinding through exhaustion is a badge of honor. Tired? Have another coffee. Push through. The problem is, when you treat tiredness as a character flaw, you stop listening to the signal. And when you stop listening, you start medicating with caffeine, with sugar, with stimulants, instead of actually resting. The result is a body that never fully recovers, a nervous system that never fully unwinds, and a baseline level of fatigue that just becomes your new normal. Flip the script tonight. Feeling tired is not failure. It is feedback. And the moment you start honoring that signal instead of suppressing it, something in your nervous system begins to relax. Sleep becomes easier, not because you changed anything physical, but because you stopped fighting yourself. The fifth habit is one that high performers across Japan have quietly been using for years, and the research behind it is rock solid: strategic napping. Not long, indulgent 2-hour afternoon crashes, short, precisely timed 20-minute recovery naps that boost memory, sharpen focus, and lift mood without leaving you groggy afterward. Japan even has designated nap rooms in some offices, and the key insight here is this: they don't obsess over hitting 8 hours every single night. They focus on sleep efficiency and recovery across the full day. If you're someone who lies awake at night feeling guilty because you should be getting more sleep, that anxiety itself is sabotaging your rest. Release the 8-hour rule. Build in a short recovery nap when your body asks for one. Less pressure, better sleep, better performance, in that order. The sixth habit is the one most of us already know about and still refuse to do: screens, blue light, melatonin suppression. You've heard it before, but here's the framing that might actually make it stick this time. Japan has smartphones everywhere. 95% of teenagers own one. Technology is not the enemy, but there's a cultural discipline around when and how screens are used before bed that most of us in the West simply haven't adopted. Blue light from phones, tablets, and televisions tells your brain it's still daytime. It delays the release of melatonin, the hormone your body uses to initiate sleep, sometimes by an hour or more. So even when you're lying in bed exhausted, your brain is still operating like it's mid-afternoon. 1 hour before bed, put the screen away, or at minimum, switch to night mode and trade stimulating content for something calm. Your brain needs a runway to wind down. Give it one. The seventh habit is the most overlooked one of all, and you'll understand exactly why the moment you think about it: your pillow. You spend approximately a third of your entire life with your head resting on this object, and most people have never once asked whether their pillow is actually serving them. Traditional Japanese sleep culture uses sobakawa pillows, filled with buckwheat hulls, that shift and conform to the natural curve of your neck, not just the weight of your head. The difference matters more than you'd think. A soft, puffy pillow that lets your head sink too far forward or to the side keeps the muscles in your neck in a state of mild tension all night. That tension interrupts deep sleep, causes micro-awakenings, and leaves you waking up with a stiff neck and no idea why you feel so bad. Research shows that switching to proper cervical support can reduce neck pain by up to 50%. Your neck is working all day to hold your head up. At night, give it something that actually holds it back. Sleep isn't a passive activity. It's the most active recovery process your body runs. It's when memories consolidate, muscles repair, hormones reset, and your immune system catches up. And yet, most of us treat it like an afterthought, something we squeeze in between the real parts of life, hoping for the best. The Japanese don't do that. They design their sleep. They treat it as a practice, not a collapse. And the results speak for themselves. Some of the highest life expectancy on the planet, lower rates of burnout-related illness, and a cultural relationship with rest that isn't shameful or weak. It's simply human. Cool your room down tonight. take that hot bath. Try a firmer surface. Give yourself permission to nap. Put the phone down an hour before bed, and tomorrow morning, notice what changes. Because you don't need more hours, you need better ones.